and I'll make the comparison. My favorite team, the Houston Astros, just won the World Series, and 2 years ago they made the playoffs kind of a year early, won the wild card game against the Yankees, and then ended up getting beat by the Royals. Went on to win the World Series. Similar to the Pistons 2 years ago when they made the playoffs, played the Cavs tough, got swept, and it was kind of like they got there a little early. Like, should they have been in the playoffs? A young team,
stuck in there,
got that experience. Seed, right? Yeah, Stanley Johnson running his mouth at LeBron, probably not his best decision, but they got some valuable experience. Missed the playoffs last year, come back this year. Andre Drummond's making free throws. Van Gundy, an experienced coach. Tobias Harris playing really well. Reggie Jackson, super early, so you never know, but it seems like he's kind of figuring some things out here. So I think the Pistons are definitely a team. Are they going to come out of the East? No, but they'll be solid out of those teams that are surprised. The Knicks, no matter how good Kristaps is, you just can't win with one player in today's NBA.
Yep. Mm-hmm. EK, what would you say?
I'd say if they stay healthy, I think the Sixers have the most realistic chance to exceed expectations. Embiid is just playing like an absolute man out there. Mm-hmm. He's not just a post player. He can hit from deep, from what we've seen. And Ben Simmons, I would have never expected this from him, but he is filling up the stat sheet for sure. So all three teams are super young. I do like Tim Hardaway Jr. a lot in the Knicks. I think him and Porzingis are going to play really well together, but I think they'll be below 500 by the end of the year. So I'd have to go with the 76ers.
Yeah, I'm going to it's kind of the two for two here. Them two went with the Pistons. I'm with you and the Sixers. I think if Markelle Fultz can figure anything out and be like
his free throw.
Yeah, his free throw, his completely awkward shot.
He's got to get healthy first.
Yeah, he's got to get healthy. But if he can come off the bench instead of maybe instead of T.J. McConnell or Skip Bayless, it's not actually Skip Bayless, but Bayless coming off the bench. I think like if Fultz can be, I'm not hinging any of this on Markelle Fultz. I'm not. But if he can contribute off the bench, plus the team, the obvious players they have already set in place with Embiid, with Saric, with
Covington, who's
Simmons,
been playing pretty well this year.
Covington's playing out of his mind from the 3-point line. J.J. Redick against the Pacers, slice and dice from three. So I think the Pistons will fall off. I don't think an 8-3 record on pace to win somewhat like around 60+ games. That's not happening. Van Gundy finally got his way with being president, with being coach at the same time, kind of the dual partnership there. But I don't think that sustains. I think the Sixers will end up not just making the playoffs, but being a contender. And right now, Embiid's not playing back-to-backs, and they still look pretty good.
Exactly. But with Drummond, have you seen his free throw shooting this year?
It's so much improved.
Oh, yeah. I saw he went, 14 to 16 from the line the other night, and that's going to get you some free points there.
That begs the question. Okay, if Andre Drummond who shot the worst percentage in a single season in NBA history,
worst free throw shooter in NBA history for a career entering this season,
and how is DeAndre Jordan not shooting free throws decent if he's been at this for longer?
Just totally in his head at this point, and it's just one of those things where guys, Shaq and Dwight Howard both have made claims that like they were 90% free throw shooters in practice, and personally, I don't agree with that take. You're in the NBA. It's funny.
Figure it out.
Gordon Hayward told this story about how his job, he plays basketball 4 hours a day, and then he's an unbelievable video game player. He's like, I have so much free time. Literally, you get paid to play basketball, and you cannot physically exert yourself for a normal work day. Whereas normal people work 9 to 5. You can't do that playing basketball. So you have all this free time. Figure out how to make free throws. Mm-hmm. It should not be that difficult. It just comes down to, are you willing to work that hard? I think there needs to be incentives in contracts, whereas if a team, if a player can't shoot, maybe he's a big guy, 65% of the free throw line, you start taking money off his pay. And you'll see guys like DeAndre Jordan, if he's not getting paid, start making free throws.
Wow.
But as of now, doesn't matter. If he shoots 30% from the line, doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I like that, actually. It's
not 30% bad, but still.
It's kind of an odd thing where I'm agreeing with Alec. It doesn't happen often, but I like that. All right, it's face-off time. So this segment, it's two of the four of us at all times will be going head-to-head with three preset questions. And one of the guys is going to be asking questions, and the final guy on the podcast is going to be judging the two answers. So asking 3 questions, kind of firing them off. They're going to give their best answer, and Colt today will be the judge on who wins the face-off. It's between Alec and Eric. Are you guys ready?
Ready, let's do
Let's
it.
go for it.
Okay, so Eric is going to be answering question 1 first, and then following up with Alec, of course, and then vice versa for question 2, and back to the former for question 3. Question number 1. And in the face-off, don't just give your answer. Give why you believe that. Okay. Question 1: Who has been the best new team player so far? For the player who's joined a new team this season, who has been the best?
The best new team player. I guess my Pacers fandom would have to go with Sabonis on this one. I think. We didn't have Miles Turner for a few games from a concussion where he just fell off the face of the earth. Sabonis really kept us in those games. I know Victor was playing very well, and our team chemistry was up there, but he's just so unselfish, and obviously he can defend the pick and roll very well, and he also plays awesome out of the pick and roll.
Wow.
Dwayne Wade. No, I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving. He's averaging 22 points a game. He's shooting 45% from the field. He's knocking down his free throws again. He's averaging 2.1 steals. And, Boston loses Gordon Hayward 6 minutes into their season.
Mm-hmm.
Al Horford, he's only missed a game now, but he's got these concussion issues here, and Jason Tatum banged up. And so they've had these injuries. They come back from last year with 25% of their roster